Hi, my name is Phil Borders. I'm a psychiatrist at Hendricks Therapy in Central Indiana, and today we're going to discuss what is a TMS machine. Well, in general, it's a kind of a nice fancy chair, and then it has this coil. Now, this coil, it comes in a variety of shapes and sizes, but for most of it, for most TMS machines, it's kind of like this, shaped like this, and it's pressed up against your head. And it's in a figure 8 configuration. And the coils are wrapped perpendicular to the figure 8. The coils, the electric coils. And what happens is you run electricity through the coils and it produces a magnetic field. And because the way electricity works, we have AC, which is called alternating current. The electrons in this field that's wrapped around the coil go back and forth, and the fact that they go back and forth, that produces electromagnetic waves. So you've got this device pressed up against your head, producing electromagnetic waves that focus down to a point, and that point is in your brain, and the point you look for is called the dorsolateral prefrontal cortex, and that's the area of the brain that's kind of central to people who have problems with depression. That's an area of the brain where if you put the focus on that area of the brain, you stimulate it, and it then radiates outward to other areas of the brain and starts creating new connections, and it starts creating activation of those areas. One way to look at it is if you remember when you were a little kid and you had a magnifying glass and you went out when it was really sunny and you just started burning things, and it was really cool. Exact same principle, except like we've talked about before, the sun's rays are much more powerful than a TMS machine, so it's not going to burn your brain. So one interesting thing is comparing TMS to ECT, or electroconvulsive therapy. So electroconvulsive therapy is a direct stimulation of the brain through electricity to the scalp. What that does, it basically blasts your brain with electricity. It also goes to your body and helps alleviate depression. Now, I'm not trying to downgrade ECT. ECT is tremendous treatment. I've had a lot of patients I've referred to a friend of mine who does ECT because they've got some really bad depression and it helps them really quickly. TMS is similar, actually not as effective as ECT for really bad depression. It's similar, but it uses electromagnetism, and it sends the waves to a focal point where the ECT basically just puts electricity in the entire area. Also, what's interesting about TMS is that you can change the settings and you can use it on different parts of the brain. Now, we're not going to go over that, where it can actually inhibit those areas. It can deactivate them, can make them less active. For example, like with anxiety, OCD, those would be a couple of examples. But for our purposes, we're talking about increasing the electricity to a certain area of the brain using a focal point of electromagnetism that's safe, and it's very effective. It's very good treatment. Phil Borders, Hendricks Therapy. Thanks for watching.